Welcome to Mind Odyssey, where timeless wisdom and modern psychology come together in stories designed to guide you through life's struggles. Here we blend philosophical storytelling with practical lessons to help you find healing and understanding. If you enjoy exploring ideas that lead to personal growth, consider liking and subscribing to support new journeys into the mind. Your presence here is part of the adventure. In this video, we begin a reflective journey into the psychology of letting go. By combining Buddhist philosophy with the latest neuroscience, we'll uncover why our attachments can create suffering and how learning acceptance can open us to emotional freedom. Softly, we invite you to let each story and idea settle like gentle ripples and perhaps find your own insight along the way. Chapter 1. The Roots of Attachment. Every journey begins with a single step, and tonight our path leads us inward to the origins of attachment. Imagine the gentle teachings of Buddhism, mingling with memories from early childhood, a time when love, longing, and need took root within us. In a meditative space, we reflect on why we cling so tightly to desires, people, and outcomes, searching for security in an ever-changing world. From our earliest moments, we reach outward to the warmth of a parent's embrace, to satisfying a hunger, to the comfort of familiarity. Attachment forms naturally, an unseen thread weaving through our development. Buddhist philosophy invites us to examine these threads gently, noticing how they wrap around our hearts. As you listen, let the story guide you in quietly observing your own attachments, without judgment, but with honest curiosity. With each reflection, we see that attachment is not only a source of comfort, but also of suffering. Why do we grasp at outcomes or people, fearing change or loss? Neuroscience reveals how our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, shaping the roots of our longing. Tonight, notice the patterns within yourself as the foundation is laid for deeper exploration, preparing for the path ahead toward greater understanding and acceptance. Chapter 2. Buddha's Insight, the Nature of Suffering. In the quiet shade beneath the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha Gautama sat in deep contemplation. The world around him pulsed with life, yet his inner focus was unshakable. As he observed the passing sensations and thoughts, he saw how every desire, every grasp at fleeting happiness gave rise to unease. The Buddha began to understand the roots of suffering, how attachment quietly binds our hearts in restless longing. He recalled earlier days as a prince, indulgent in pleasures yet oddly unsatisfied. Gold, silk, and celebration filled his world, but beneath the surface, a sense of emptiness persisted. Each longing, no matter how it was fulfilled, only seemed to grow stronger once sated. The Buddha realized that chasing after moments of joy, or clinging to what pleased him, left an insatiable void. This cycle, he taught, was dukkha, the ever-present ache of suffering. In one story, the Buddha watched a musician tuning his instrument. When the strings were too tight, they snapped. When too loose, no sound could emerge. In this gentle metaphor, the Buddha shared the middle way, teaching that happiness lies not in relentless striving nor apathetic avoidance. Instead, it blooms in balanced awareness, where attachments soften and the heart learns to rest in the present, unburdened by extremes. The Buddha spoke often of impermanence, the fleeting nature of everything we cherish. Relationships, possessions, youthful energy, all change and slip through our grasp. By holding on tightly, we suffer twice, once in fearing loss, and again when loss inevitably arrives. Through vivid tales of love and grief, the Buddha invited his followers to notice this truth, to gently release clinging and find solace in the flow of change, to gently release clinging and find solace in the flow of change. Today, these ancient insights echo in our everyday lives. We might cling to a perfect outcome at work, yearn for approval on social media, or dwell on past disappointments. Like the Buddha under the Bodhi tree, we discover that letting go, though difficult, offers relief and clarity. As we recognize our patterns of attachment, we open a doorway to acceptance and true emotional freedom, inviting peace to settle quietly within us. Chapter 3: Neuroscience of Attachment, the Modern View. In this segment, we journey into the intricate circuitry of the human mind where attachment takes hold. Scientific advancements have allowed researchers to map the delicate networks that shape our emotional bonds. Through these discoveries, we gain fresh insights into why our connections run so deep, and why the process of letting go is often accompanied by such profound pain. Neuroscientists have uncovered that attachment is not just an abstract feeling, but is deeply rooted in specific neural pathways, especially in areas of the brain such as the amygdala and prefrontal cortex. These regions work together, linking memories, emotions, and habits, creating patterns that are hard to break. When an attachment is severed, the brain registers distress much like physical pain, showing how separation can truly hurt. Modern science has begun to catch up with what ancient wisdom has long intuited. Philosophies from centuries past spoke about the suffering born from clinging and longing. Now, with brain imaging technologies, we see these truths reflected in the patterns and activities of our neurons. It's as if the wisdom of mindfulness and acceptance is being validated anew by the glow of contemporary evidence. Personal stories of loss and change reveal how the brain struggles to adapt when attachments are threatened or broken. These heartfelt experiences mirror scientific findings. Neural circuits tied to attachment take time to rewire, often causing emotional turbulence. Yet, just as old wounds heal with care, so too can the mind given patience and understanding find new pathways toward peace and resilience. So, as we weave together tales of loss and the science behind emotional bonds, a picture emerges that unites the reflections of past philosophers with today's neuroscience. Both traditions suggest that learning to accept Chain Herathar than resisting it can quiet the storm within. Through this union of story and science, we glimpse a gentler way to loosen our grip on what was and invite freedom into what is. Chapter 4: The Art of Acceptance. In this next part of our journey, we move from understanding suffering to discovering practical ways of embracing acceptance. Using lessons drawn from both Buddha's teachings and modern psychology, let us gently explore how acceptance can transform our pain. This chapter offers stories and mindful exercises, guiding us to find peace in the present and build resilience for whatever life unfolds. Acceptance, as both ancient wisdom and contemporary psychology teach us, is not about giving up. Instead, it is a conscious, courageous response to our struggles. Through reflective stories, we witness individuals learning to release their grip on what cannot be changed. With gentle mindfulness, we are invited to join them, to notice our feelings and breathe into the moment, allowing space for calm and emotional healing to take root. One of Buddha's core teachings was that clinging only deepens suffering. Imagine a hand tightly grasping a burning ember leaf begins not by denying the pain, but by choosing to let go. Psychology calls this radical acceptance. Through brief meditation exercises, we practice noticing thoughts, naming our fears, and softening our resistance. Over time, this practice helps us recognize the difference between what we can and cannot control. Acceptance does not mean passive resignation. It is an active embrace of reality as it is. Modern psychology encourages us to observe our emotions without harsh judgment. Try this: when distress arises, breathe deeply, acknowledge your discomfort, and let it move through you. Through such practices, the heart grows resilient, and we learn to meet our challenges with a gentle strength rather than forceful resistance. In this chapter, as the stories intertwine with your own experience, notice moments where letting go begins to feel possible. The art of acceptance is a lifelong practice, sometimes quiet, sometimes profound. As you rest in these stories and guided reflections, may you sense the weight of old attachments lighten, making space for peace to arise within you. one breath and one moment at a time. Chapter 5. Emotional Freedom Beyond Attachment. As we reach the final part of our journey, imagine your mind as a vast sky, free from the limits of clouds of grasping and clinging. The fusion of ancient Buddhist insights with recent scientific discoveries reveals a profound truth. It is in letting go that we discover real freedom, not just momentary relief, but an enduring space for hope and new beginnings. With each breath, picture the gentle release of thoughts and feelings, no longer bound by the weight of worries or the stories we spin about ourselves. Both Buddhist practice and neuroscience instruct us that liberation comes from acceptance, from meeting whatever arises with a steady, compassionate heart. This is not a surrender into emptiness, but a doorway into presence, resilience, and a far deeper sense of self. The science of the mind shows us that holding on too tightly, whether to emotions, ideas, or even pain, creates tension and distress. But when we observe with kindness, allowing each moment to pass without labeling or resisting, we find incredible strength. As we loosen the grip of attachment, the cycles of reactivity begin to fade, making room for true connection and emotional clarity. Imagine facing life's challenges not with rigid fear, but with a flexible spirit rooted in mindfulness. The journey of letting go is not linear, and it's normal to have setbacks along the way. Still, every small moment of acceptance is a victory. Each step brings greater freedom, teaching us that contentment doesn't come from controlling the world, but from peace within our ever-changing experience. So as you reach the close of this odyssey, know that the journey is ongoing. Each day is a new opportunity to release, to soften, and to choose presence over resistance. Trust in your ability to grow beyond old patterns. With mindfulness and self-compassion, genuine emotional freedom is within reach. Hope and empowerment wait on the horizon, inviting you forward into the open, endless sky of possibility.